So Benny the Butcher, aka Jeremy Pinnick, is a rapper from Buffalo, New York, who's signed to Griselda Records. He's also signed with Rock Nation as far as the management deal. He is known as someone who's, linked with that whole mafioso coke rap. You heard guys like Raekwon, Jay-Z, Pusha T. They honed in on that type of style. He's very, very great when it comes to punchlines and lyrical ability, wordplay, things of that nature. And when it comes to his rise, he linked up with DJ Shay. DJ Shay, a household name when it comes to New York upstate rap in Buffalo with Buff City Records, and him being taught and just being groomed when it comes to putting in the work with DJ Shay. DJ Shay is a vocal aspect of Benny the Butcher's, career when it comes to him being brought up in the game, as well as Griselda as a whole, and that's why he was sacrificed. That's part and parcel with the narrative of Griselda. DJ Shay being sacrificed last year, and you know, when it comes to Benny the Butcher, is as well as the understanding of him being put in a position where he's at, I wouldn't necessarily say like a mainstream level, but he's borderline mainstream. There's a reason for that. You know, there was a story about him getting shot, and I believe that there's something that's kind of like fishy about that story because of the fact that my understanding is revolved around the Masonic aspect, because it was a ritual. It was a leg ritual. And when you understand the Masonic rituals, you can understand how it goes into the leg ritual with the trouser leg being rolled up to represent freedom or liberation, being initiated into the craft when it comes to being fit to be a Freemason. You know what I mean? And that's why he got shot. I believe that goes into the whole leg ritual and him being a Mason, him being initiated. That's why you saw him in that picture in the wheelchair with Rick Ross. You know what I mean? He was in that picture with Rick Ross. And we know Rick Ross is a big time Mason. So that whole leg aspect, him being shot in the leg, was a ritual. That was a Masonic ritual, believe it or not. So I'm going to go into this review, but I also want to give, a little background in regards to what I found going into the whole leg aspect, the leg ritual aspect. So as you can see here, this is LL Cool J with his left pant leg rolled up, supposed to represent his initiation. He's a Freemason. That's what he is. He's a Freemason. And he's someone who's high on a totem pole when it comes to the understanding. That's why you see him host the Grammys a lot. As of, late, he hasn't been, as of recent. But for the most part, this man is high on a totem pole. LL Cool J, he's a Freemason. Billie Eilish, or Eilish, whatever her name is, also with the pant leg rolled up. Now, it's predominantly with the left leg, but you see the right leg as well. The right leg is also a part of the initiation process, either leg. But as I said, the whole leg thing is revolved around them being initiated, Benny the Butcher's initiation process, you know. Eminem, the right leg, red, black, and white to represent, his understanding. He worships Pan. He represents the black mass. You saw him in a pool full of blood in the bathtub. I forget what video it was, but he was in a bathtub full of blood. I think I did a video on that too. But yeah, this is Eminem, red, black, and white, representing the GOAT. Also with the pant leg up. He's a Freemason. He's a Saturnian, so on and so forth. Sarah Jessica Parker, another one with the pant leg rolled up. You know, she's been in the entertainment industry for a while now. Someone who represents the mother goddess, the pagan aspect, the pagan worship, you know. Lil Wayne, also red, black, and white, with the pant leg rolled up. Lil Wayne, heavily immersed into the craft, definitely a Luciferian, a worshiper of the goat, a worshiper of Aphrodite. That's why he always raps about women in certain ways in his music, because he worships Aphrodite, the whore goddess. Lil Wayne. He even mentioned it on a song featuring Benny the Butcher at that. New York rapper Benny the Butcher was shot during a robbery attempt outside of a store in Houston, authorities said Sunday. Houston police spokeswoman Jody Silver said the 35-year-old performer, whose real name is Jeremy Pinnock, was shot in the leg around 3:30 p.m. It says 4:30, but he was shot at 3:30. And the reason why I know that to be true is because he has a song called 3:30 in Houston. So this is how you know that this is revolved around a Masonic ritual, the 33rd degree, Saturday, we're supposed to represent Saturn's day for Saturn, Saturnian. He's a Saturnian. Saturday afternoon in the parking lot of a Walmart on the southwest side of the city. As Pinnock stepped out of his Rolls Royce, she said 5 individuals wearing masks approached he and 2 others who were with him, demanding their chains. The trio began taking off their jewelry but were not moving fast enough for one of the suspects, who subsequently shot the rapper, Silver added. She said the suspects fled the scene and Pinnock was taken to the hospital. He's in stable condition and expected to survive. The people with him during the shooting were not wounded. Silver said the suspects are at large and an investigation is underway. A description of the suspect was not immediately released, but investigators said they were seen in a Chevy Malibu. Now, the thing about this is, if you're somebody that's about that gang life and you rob people and this and that, when you at a point where you about to stick up something and somebody is quote unquote moving too fast, wouldn't you just do it yourself? Wouldn't you just take the jewelry off their neck yourself? Why would you shoot them? So this is how you know that this could be fishy. I'm not saying that this didn't happen. It could have happened. Who knows? But all I'm saying is this is revolved around a ritual, because the aspect of it is a little fishy when it comes to the details. But this is how you know that this is revolved around a ritual. This is revolved around the leg ritual, the Masonic leg ritual, the initiation process. So it says the rapper from Buffalo, New York is part of the hip hop group Griselda and last month released his second studio album, Burden of Proof. He also recently signed a management deal with Roc Nation, an entertainment agency founded by superstar rapper and entrepreneur Jay-Z, according to Spotify. Pinnock is at least the 3rd rapper in less than a week to become the victim of gun violence in Texas. Hours before the incident involving Pinnock, another hip-hop artist, Boosie Badass, whose real name is Torrance Hatch, was also shot in the leg. It occurred just the day after Hatch attended a vigil for slain Dallas rapper Mo3, who was shot and killed last Wednesday during a daytime attack on a highway in his hometown. The 38-year-old native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, told his fans in a Facebook post Sunday that he was okay. And it's crazy, Boosie is also a part of the ritual. He's also a part of the initiation process. Whether you guys believe it or not, this is a ritual. This is a part of the understanding of them being free because of what it's revolved around when it comes to, the shackling of the chains and it being released from them and them being liberated. So that's why they roll up the pants leg. And Benny the Butcher was shot in the quote unquote leg to represent that. So you see here in the aftermath of him being taken from the hospital, he links up with the ultimate Freemason, Rick Ross. And he has a song called Freemasons featuring another ultimate Freemason, Jay-Z. And you see him here in his picture with the all black on and his left hand over his right hand to symbolize the left hand path that he's taken, That's why he raps about what he raps about. That's why his content is based in what it is. because it's destructive, you know? So this is gonna be my review for the EP, The Plugs I Met Too. This is the second installment of the Plugs I Met series. I'm sure he's gonna be releasing a part three, later on down the line. But this EP as a whole, I'll probably give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's not bad. It's not too great, but it is good. It got some good tracks on here. But let's go through it. This is the first track, When Tony Met Sosa. It's supposed to set off the album. It's supposed to give off that aspect of Benny the Butcher linking up with Harry Fraud. This album being fully produced by Harry Fraud. Harry Fraud, a household name when it comes to Coke Boys and French Montana, things of that nature, which is why you have French Montana on here and Chinks with the posthumous feature. But this right here is a great song, When Tony Met Sosa. Great track to set off the album, and going into, the rest of these tracks is a good way to just, set it off.
Yeah, every time I come back. But who fathomed it? My heroes in federal sweatsuits and New Balances. What's the outcome for niggas like me? Where do I land? I put a present on my wrist when the streets force my hand. Bumping in the old beat for my city. We spinning blocks is pressure until we get the respect. You get your pops, can only name a few rhymers who had it like dude got it. Make a list, huh? And I'm on their heels like shoe polish. I let niggas talk. All last year I was too modest.
All right, so this is the next track overall featuring Chinks. This is a great track. I love the sound arrangements, sonically, how it gives you that nostalgic feel, got that 80s vibe to it. It's a very dope track, and it's a great track to come after the intro. It really like gives you that extended set off.
These niggas can't tell me nothing about this rap shit.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Yeah, I don't showboat. You niggas know though. Me and Bono minus Gina, we like Tony and Manolo. Your dough showed us Frodo. I'm at the register like, what's the total? Since I kicked in the door, I've been in go mode. She asked the same question like,
Why you never smiling in your photos?
the same reason Bobby went solo. This tech shoot a slow-mo. I'm tipsy riding shotgun in a Volvo. My shit punch like Miguel Cotto. Let's go.
Money forever tall. I'm in it for the bank. We winning overall. Early, never late. Money forever tall. I'm in it for the bank. We winning overall. I'm creeping in the like real slow. Keep it chopper for that riff. I let it go. You know, find him in the back, bring low. I ain't been cuffing that trick. I let it go. You know, I'm business savvy, so they throw them digits at me. These niggas wanna win, but don't know the business, daddy. Use a coach flight, me, I'm lit, rose down. What I mean is I got options, man, I control the ball. Catching speeder in that cockpit with Gucci goggles on. I got Haitians that got choppers that put you on the wall. I'm well connected, ghetto accepted, very respected. These ignorant motherfuckers measure you by your necklace.
Yeah, so that's overall featuring Chinks. Great track there. One of my favorite songs off the album. I would say this, along with the intro, is a part of my top 5. So we got the next track, Plug Talk, featuring 2 Chainz. Benny used to go by 2 Chain Benny, so it's kind of funny. He got 2 Chainz on the song.
From Bell Harbor to Magic. The interviews talking plug talk. Got my name off of drug talk. Yeah. The interviews talking plug talk. Got my name off of drug talk. Got my name off of drug talk. Yeah. The interviews talking plug talk. Got my name off of drug talk. 10 toes solid, nigga. That's what staying down, get you. Yeah. The interviews talking plug talk. Got my name off of drug talk.
Yeah, so that's Plug Talk featuring 2 Chainz. Not really a fan of 2 Chainz like that, but he did his thing on this song right here. He said a lot of funny lines. He had a lot of funny bars on here. Benny did his thing as well. The beat is pretty cool. I like that sample. That sample is so beautiful. It's a pretty cool track, Plug Talk. Next track, Live By It. I like the content on here. Benny the Butcher is really switching it up on the content. He's really going into different avenues of, what he's conveying. And on this, he's just talking about, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. If you somebody that's brought up to be a killer, to be somebody that's destructive with that weaponry, then 9 times out of 10 you're gonna die by that shit. You know what I mean? So live by it, you die by it.
In this innocence for a box of bullets. If it's work in the house, it belongs to the trapper. And guns on tour buses always belongs to the rapper. My little man ride around strapped, hunting for an op he can catch. Live by it, you die by it. Knowing if you don't kill him, he coming back. But he said he good, cause he gon' handle that. Live by it, you die by it. Kept mine on me. Heard some niggas had some money on my hat. Live by it, you die by it. 2 3s, K's and Max. You said to shoot it here, I said back.
So yeah, that was Live By It. Next track, which is my least favorite track on this EP, is Talking Back featuring Fat Joe. Fat Joe was not needed on this song. The song, you know, the beat is okay. I understand why he put Fat Joe on the song because it does fit Fat Joe, but he did not do well on here. He did not execute at all.
Streets talking to me, so I'm talking back. I got you, my plug talking to me, and I'm talking back. Chill with all that negative energy, cause I'll turn a negative nigga into a memory.
That was a nice little line, but nah, he didn't do good on this song at all. So the next track is my favorite track. It's probably one of my favorite Benny the Butcher songs. This is No Instructions. This shit is nasty. This shit nasty as hell. Fucking nasty.
My street niggas gonna pray to this one. Yeah. We not connected unless we get paid. Prison left me enraged. Knife work, Wesley and Blaze. They know I'm up, so they expect me to change. I plug on both sides. Dope boy with executive game. All my OGs encourage violence. That's why I turn for guidance. My hood make your block look like the Virgin Islands. It's half a brick, I'ma serve with kindness. With dope is color cut clearly. And the same when you purchase diamonds. This flow right here, I was the first to find it. I sold work and grinded. My bitch ran the phone before she earned designer. This way of life, you can tell we perfected. Unhealthy connections. I treat a plug like a wealthy investor. Solved like the Tupac case. We was young, we was rugged. While home, we was bugging. And rats get their stripes stripped and tongues in the oven. When it comes to this hustling, I got funds in abundance. And I learned quick, cause a brick don't come with instructions.
So yeah, man, that's No Instructions. One of my favorite songs off the EP. My favorite song, actually. Benny is just nasty on this shit, going 60, for real. Crazy, crazy track. And Harry Fraud did his thing with the drums. Fucking drums is crazy. That violin, the way that shit set in, nasty, nasty. So this right here, Longevity featuring French Montana and Jim Jones. Jim Jones had a very, very great verse on here. It's a toss-up between him and Benny on this song right here, but he really had a fucking dope-ass verse on this song. The beat is it's okay, but the lyrics is great, man. Great, great lyrics.
That's why my nigga Max missing years. My Hollywood thing says she love me kinda cold. I don't believe it, she an actress, 10 Golden Globes.
And it's funny because you know, Jimmy don't really fuck with Max B like that. So it's just crazy how French Montana mentions Max B before Jim Jones.
So getting back to French and Max, will you work with Max B when he gets out of jail?
Fuck Max B.
Okay.
Max suck dick. Fuck out of here.
All right. Okay.